Let's look at how my dividend portfolio is doing this month. For those of you who are new to this channel or just don't know, I have my ISA this year with Interactive Brokers. So this is the platform that you can see in front of you here. The main difference, as always, is the net liquidity, so how much I have in my portfolio. This time last month, I had £2,900.86. So we've increased by about £700. This time it's £3,596.88. That is a really great jump. Some of that has come from performance. You'll see here that, it's come up since the time that I last filmed this video. But also I have invested more money, about £500, maybe a little bit more than that. I always film my Invest With Me, so feel free to check them out. Whenever I make an investment into this portfolio, I always film it. So we've seen a jump in how much I've got there and also the rate of return. Last month, this portfolio was down by 10.69% year to date, or 1 year. This time, we can see that it's a much better picture. We're still down, we're still in the negatives, but this time by 5.17%. As someone who plans to invest for the long term, these monthly updates aren't really something that I'm too concerned about. I really like filming them for transparency reasons and just as a way to track my performance and my portfolio. But I'm not too worried if it's down this month or up next month. It's what it's going to do in the long term. So let's just see how my rate of return over the last year compares to that of the FTSE 100 and the S&P 500. So just remember minus 5.17 in your head, and let's have a look at how it's doing compared to them indices. So year to date, the FTSE 100 is down by 2.49%, which isn't doing as bad as my portfolio. But then if we look over at the S&P 500, we can see that it's down by 16.75%. So what you've got to remember about my portfolio is that I have individual UK dividend stocks, but I also have my ETF, which is VUSA, which is of course an S&P 500 tracker. So I should be getting somewhere in between those two performances, which I am. So I'm quite pleased with this, and you can see it graphically here as well. Down the side, we can see how much cash I have ready to invest and some dividends that are waiting to come through. Let's go over to the portfolio and just look at my positions. So you can see here everything that I own in this portfolio, how much of it I own, the performance, the market value, the average price, all of this information. But what I want to point out that's changed since last month is that I've added 2 new positions, which you would have already seen if you watch my Invest With Me videos. But I've added Legal and General. So I've got 100 shares in this company, and that cost me £241, and the current value of that stock is £249.32. So I'm up on this one so far. And I wanted Legal and General because I didn't really have much exposure to the financial services industry at all. I only had HSBC here, and that is quite a small position. So I was looking between Legal and General and Aviva, and I settled on Legal and General after I did some research. So that is one stock that I've added to my portfolio. The next one is Croda. Again, this is because I was lacking exposure in the chemical sector, and Croda made the most sense. I'm really, really happy that I've introduced this one into my portfolio. And currently I have 4 shares. It cost me £262 and it's currently worth £282.59. So again, I'm pretty pleased with these additions, and I'm just trying to diversify my portfolio as much as possible. I've said in a few videos that I'm eager to get my hands on a particular ETF, and I still want to do that. It's just now is not a great time with how weak the pound is, but hopefully that will be one that I add soon, because that will really give me a lot of exposure and a lot of diversification that I'm really excited about. I'm really eager over the next few months to actually look at my diversification in a lot more detail. My primary sort of goals for this portfolio was to get it up and running, and now that I've got a fair few investments in a fair few different companies in a fair few different sectors, I now want to look at the weightings of those and make sure I'm rebalancing as necessary, because right now you can probably see I'm very overexposed in some sectors compared to others. I do still want ETFs to be my biggest holding by percentage, so probably about 30% of the portfolio I want to be in VUSA and another ETF that I'm hopefully going to add soon, fingers crossed. But for example, my largest holding is apart from them is Unilever. That's fine. Like I'm happy for that position to be big, but I don't want it to quite be as big as it currently is. So I do need to have a look at, one, add in some more sectors that I don't have exposure to at the moment, and two, rebalancing the ones that I do have, because I don't think it's a good idea to be really, really overexposed in A, one sector, and B, one particular company. So I will definitely look to do that soon. Just looking at my portfolio performance over these different time frames, I've just put it to the 1 year mark. I can't go any bigger than that, longer than that, because I only started this portfolio in April 2022. So it hasn't even been a whole year. But you can see that the portfolio since starting has been in the negative. We've, hit nearly down by 10%. You can see here. And then we've come quite close to breaking even. But I'm not worried about it as a long-term investor. And also, you've just got to look at the markets in general over this time frame, and they show a very, very similar picture. So I'm not expecting to be able to, outdo the market and know which one company to have to get better returns than everyone else. That's not really the aim of this. I'm trying to focus on income, but also companies that are really good, high quality companies that I can hold and just continually buy into, dollar, pound, cost average. And hopefully that is a good method for me to have. So let's just take a look into which dividends I may have been paid last month. I'm going to flip over to my own dividend tracker to actually show you that. This is currently how I'm tracking my dividends. I really like this. I made it myself. It has everything that I could want it to have, and I'm actually looking to make it even better very soon and add a few more different functions. But I've spoken about it before. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to get your hands on this one. But it just shows me the amount of dividends that I'm getting every single month, and the increase in dividends I'm getting month on month, and what companies are paying me, how much they're paying me, how regularly they're paying me, which companies are paying me the most. So you can see here that straight away, October so the month just gone, was my largest month when it comes to dividends. So that was so exciting for someone that is obviously focusing on a dividend portfolio. September, I was absolutely chuffed with. So when it came to October and I got even more, I was honestly very, very pleased. In October, I got a total of £19.14 in dividends. And you can see here that came from two different positions. So it came from VUSA, which of course is an S&P 500 ETF. And then also I got some from Diageo as well. I'm really, really enjoying tracking and seeing these dividends come in every single month. I just find it so motivating and so rewarding. And it makes me just want to keep investing. And I'm sure you've all heard time in the market is way more important than time in the market. And it's the most important thing an investor can do, especially when they're trying to build up their portfolio over a long period of time. So that's how my current ISA portfolio is currently performing. Let me know how yours is doing in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very soon.